Life thrives through a complex web of systems, from reproduction and development to circulation and regulation. In this journey, we explore the essential organ systems of plants and animals, how they acquire nutrients, exchange gases, transport vital substances, and respond to their environment. By dissecting a frog, we bridge theory and reality, seeing firsthand how these biological processes function within an organism. The frog's digestive, circulatory, respiratory, and nervous systems reflect the intricate coordination required for survival. Through this, we deepen our understanding of life's interconnected systems. Let's dive into the fascinating world of biology.
Unit 8. Plant and Animal Organ Systems and Processes, Reproduction and Development. For Lesson 1, Plant Reproduction and Development. For Lesson 2, Animal Reproduction and Development. For Lesson 3, Human Reproduction and Development. The life cycle of plants and animals involves distinct stages of growth, development, and reproduction. Plants undergo alternation of generations, cycling between diploid sporophyte and haploid gametophyte stages, with angiosperms starting as seeds that develop into mature, flowering plants capable of fertilization and seed dispersal. Similarly, animals begin life through fertilization, where sperm and egg unite to form a zygote that undergoes embryogenesis and organogenesis, leading to tissue and organ formation. Some animals like insects and amphibians undergo metamorphosis, while humans experience a complex developmental process, including implantation, embryonic growth, and fetal development. Both plant and animal life cycles ensure the continuation of species through reproduction and adaptation. Frogs, like other animals, undergo a distinct life cycle that involves fertilization, embryonic development, and metamorphosis. Their life cycle begins with external fertilization, where eggs are laid in water and fertilized by sperm. These eggs hatch into aquatic larvae called tadpoles, which breathe through gills and primarily feed on algae. As they grow, they undergo metamorphosis, a biological transformation where they develop lungs, limbs, and lose their tails to become terrestrial adult frogs capable of reproduction. This process mirrors human embryogenesis and organogenesis, where cells differentiate to form tissues and organs essential for survival. Frog dissection provides a hands-on understanding of these developmental changes, allowing us students to examine key organ systems such as the digestive, respiratory, circulatory, and reproductive systems. By studying the internal structures of frogs, which share similarities with human anatomy, students like us can better grasp physiological processes and the complexity of life cycles across different species.
For Unit 9, Plants and Animal Organ Systems and Processes and its Nutrition. For Lesson 1, Nutritional Requirements and Modes of Procurement in Plants. For Lesson 2, Nutritional Requirements and Modes of Procurement in Animals. For Lesson 3, the variations in mammalian digestive systems. Plants and animals require essential nutrients to sustain life, with plants depending on macronutrients like carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus, as well as micronutrients such as iron and zinc, which are transported through vascular tissues via capillary action. Animals, on the other hand, rely on biomolecules like carbohydrates for energy, proteins for structural and enzymatic functions, lipids for membranes and energy storage, and nucleic acids for genetic material. They also require minerals and vitamins for metabolism and have evolved diverse feeding mechanisms, from filter feeding in sponges to jaw and teeth used in vertebrates. The digestive system plays a crucial role in breaking down food through mechanical and chemical digestion, involving the digestive tract, which are mouth, stomach, and intestines, and accessory organs such as liver, pancreas, salivary glands. Some animals, like ruminants, have specialized digestive adaptations such as a four-chambered stomach to efficiently process complex diets. Frogs, like other animals, require essential nutrients such as carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, vitamins, and minerals to sustain biological functions. They acquire food through their specialized feeding mechanisms, using their long, sticky tongue to catch prey like insects. Their digestive system includes the mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, and gallbladder, which work together to break down food and absorb nutrients. Frogs also have a well-developed circulatory and excretory system to transport and eliminate waste efficiently. In frog dissection, students can observe the internal structures involving in digestion, including the digestive tract and accessory organs, gaining a deeper understanding of how nutrients are processed and utilized. Examine the frog's vascular system also provides insight into nutrient transport, similar to how vascular tissues function in plants. Through dissection, students can explore how frogs maintain homeostasis by balancing nutrient intake, digestion, and excretion, drawing parallels to both plant and human biological processes.
Let's move on to plants and animal organ systems and processes in gas exchange. Unit 10. Gas exchange in organisms rely on diffusion, where gases move across moist membranes from higher to lower concentrations. In plants, this occurs mainly through stomata, regulated by guard cells and influenced by potassium ions and abscisic acid. Additional structures like lenticels and root hairs aid at gas exchange. In animals, gas exchange efficiency depends on size and habitat. Smaller animals exchange gases more efficiently, while larger ones require specialized structures. Aquatic animals use countercurrent exchange to maximize oxygen absorption, while land animals keep respiratory structures internal to prevent dehydration. Breathing involves inhalation, which decreases lung pressure to draw in air, and exhalation, which increases pressure to expel air. Alveolar gas exchange, external respiration, occurs in the lungs, where oxygen and carbon dioxide diffuse between the air and blood. Let's relate it to frogs. Unit 10 explores gas exchange in plants and animals, focusing on specialized adaptations. Frogs exemplify dual respiration using gills in early stages and later developing lungs while retaining continuous respiration through their moist skin. This adaptability allows them to thrive in both aquatic and terrestrial environments. The study of frogs highlight key gas exchange principles like surface area, moisture, and efficient transport, which are also seen in other animals and plant stomatal mechanisms. The respiratory adaptations illustrate evolutionary trade-offs and environmental influences on gas exchange strategies.
Unit 11. Plant and animal organ systems and processes. Transport, circulation, and regulation of body fluids. Lesson 1. Transport and circulation in vascular plants. Lesson 2. Transport and circulation in animals. Lesson 3. Regulation of body fluids in animals. The transport, circulation, and regulation of body fluids are essential biological processes in both plants and animals. In vascular plants, the root system absorbs water and minerals, with the shoot system composed of stems, branches, and leaves facilitate photosynthesis and nutrient transport to xylem and phloem. In animals, the circulatory system moves oxygen nutrients in ways through open or closed circulatory systems, with blood capillaries and heart playing key roles. Osmoregulation maintains water-salt balance with invertebrates using tubular excretory organs and vertebrates relying on kidneys for fluid regulation and excretion of nitrogenous waste as ammonia, urea, or uric acid. The kidneys, through processes like glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, and secretion, regulate blood composition and produce urine, ensuring homeostasis in the body. Relating it to the frogs. Frogs exemplify transport, circulation, and fluid regulation, making them a valuable model for biological study, especially in frog dissection. Like vascular plants, they rely on transport system using blood vessels instead of xylem and phloem to distribute oxygen, nutrients, and waste. Their closed circulatory system, featuring a three-chambered head, pumps blood through pulmonary and systemic circuits, while their skin aids on osmoregulation by absorbing water. Their kidneys filter metabolic waste, excreting nitrogen primarily as urea. During frog dissection, observing the heart, blood vessels, kidneys, and urinary bladder provides insight on to how these systems function, helping us to understand how transport, circulation, and excretion work in vertebrates, including humans.
Unit 12. Plant and animal organ systems and processes. Chemical and nervous control. Lesson 12.1. Mechanisms of mechanical control in animals. Lesson 12.2. Chemical and nervous system in animals. Lesson 12.3. Chemical and nervous controls in animals. Plants rely on the root system to absorb water and minerals, while the shoot system, composed of stems, branches, and leaves, facilitates photosynthesis and nutrient transport through vascular tissues like xylem and phloem. Soil, a mix of minerals, organic matter, air, and water supports plant growth. In animals, the nervous system transmits electrical signals via action potentials along axons, with synapses enabling neurotransmitter-mediated communication between neurons. Action potentials follow 5 phases and travel faster in myelinated neurons. The endocrine system, consisting of glands that releases hormones, regulates growth, immunity, and homeostasis through positive and negative feedback mechanisms. The nervous system is divided into central and peripheral systems, with the latter further classified into autonomic, involuntary, and somatic, voluntary functions. And now, relating it to frogs. Frogs, like plants, rely on absorption systems. Plants use roots to take in water and minerals, while frogs absorb water and oxygen through their skin. Their vascular system, similar to plants' xylem and phloem, ensures the transport of essential nutrients and gases. The nervous system in frogs function through action potentials and neurotransmitters, allowing movement and responses. Just as plants use chemical signaling for growth and adaptation, the endocrine system in frogs plays a crucial role in metamorphosis, homeostasis, and reproductive processes through hormone regulation. Frog dissection in Unit 12 allows us students to observe these systems firsthand. They can examine the heart and blood vessels for circulation, the nervous system for control, and endocrine glands for hormonal function. Understanding these connections help illustrate the fundamental principles of life across different organisms.
For Unit 13, Plants and Animal Organ System and Processes, Immune System. We have Lesson 1, Types of Immune Responses in Plants and Animals. Lesson 2, The Role of Antibodies in the Immune System. Lesson 3, The Role of T cells in the Immune System. Pathogens including viruses, bacteria, fungi, and parasites trigger immune responses in animals and plants. Animals possess both innate immunity, a rapid immediate defense, and adaptive immunity, which is slower but more specific and effective, working together to protect the body. The adaptive immune system uses antibodies from B cells to destroy invaders, while T cells kill infected cells and help make more antibodies. It's like an army of cells working together to protect you. Plants also have immunity systems. They utilize PAMP-triggered immunity and effector-triggered immunity. Additionally, regulatory T cells help prevent unnecessary immune activity by shutting down responses once the threat is cleared. This relates to our activity in dissecting frogs by how frogs use innate immunity, including skin secretions, inflammatory responses, and phagocytic cells as a first line of defense. Their adaptive immunity involves B cells producing antibodies and T cells targeting infected cells, with memory cells ensuring long-term protection. In terms of plant-like defense mechanisms, frogs have evolved some responses to pathogens, although they don't have the same PAMP-triggered or hypersensitive immunity as plants. Studying frogs highlights the diverse immune strategies organisms use to combat infections and survive in pathogen-rich environments.
Unit 14, Plant and Animal Organ Systems and Processes, Sensory and Motor Mechanisms. Lesson 1, Sensory Receptors and Defense Mechanisms in Plants. Lesson 2, Sensory and Motor Mechanisms in Animals. For Lesson 3, Sensory and Motor Mechanisms in Humans. Plants, animals, and humans respond to environmental stimuli through specialized mechanisms. Plants use hormones and cellular receptors to react to light, gravity, water, and touch, influencing growth and defense. Animals rely on sensory neurons, motor neurons, and various receptors to detect stimuli and generate responses through muscles and glands. In humans, the nervous system, divided into the somatic and autonomic systems, processes sensory input from the 5 senses, regulating voluntary and involuntary functions, including fight or flight and rest and digest responses. And now, relating it to frogs. Frogs, like other animals, rely on sensory and motor mechanisms to interact with their environment. The nervous system, consisting of sensory neurons, motor neurons, and receptors, detects stimuli such as light, touch, and temperature, allowing them to respond through movement such as jumping or swimming. In the frog dissection, students can observe key structures involved in these processes, including the brain, spinal cord, and muscles, which work together to coordinate responses. Understanding how frogs process stimuli and react helps illustrate broader principles of animal physiology and nervous system function.
Unit 15. Homeostasis and feedback mechanism. Homeostasis is the maintenance of stable internal environment, regulated by feedback mechanism, involving sensors, a control center, and effectors. Negative feedback helps restore balance by counteracting changes, as seen in thermoregulation by the hypothalamus, water balance through urination and perspiration, blood sugar regulation via insulin and glucagon, and blood pressure adjustments. Positive feedback amplifies processes until completion, such as contractions during labor, milk production during breastfeeding, estrogen role in ovulation, blood clotting, and inflammation. This mechanism ensures the body function properly, maintaining health and stability. Homeostasis is the process by which organisms maintaining a balanced internal environment, and frogs regulate it through various psychological mechanisms. Like humans, frogs rely on feedback mechanism to control body functions, but as ectotherms, they regulate temperature behaviorally by seeking warmer or cooler environments. Negative feedback helps maintain stability in frogs such as kidney function for water balance, glucose regulation via the pancreas, and blood pressure adjustments through the circulatory system. Positive feedback mechanisms like blood clotting and inflammation also play a role in their survival. During frog dissection, we observe these homeostatic processes firsthand by examining the circulatory, nervous, and excretory system, providing insight into how frogs and humans share fundamental biological responses to maintain balance.
From reproduction and nutrition to gas exchange, circulation, and nervous control, every living organism relies on coordinated biological systems. Through our frog dissection, we didn't just study these systems, we observed them in action. We saw how the frog's heart pumps blood through its vessels, how its lungs and skin facilitate respiration, and how its muscles and nerves enable movement. These insights bring our lessons to life, showing the universal principles that govern all living beings. Science is a continuous journey, so keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep uncovering the wonders of life.
Bilat lagi. Wala, mana? Bayang mo Ya. Kat ang tumikat.
Kana. Shit guys, one. Shit yan. Ang bato siya. Oy, iya, surgeon na lang. Surgeon na lang. Oy, yes. Mora nih. Karena iyan. Ay, banat apa? Apa? Dikit. Ah, dapat. Napa na oh. Unsa na Kyle? Mo liver.
Dire?
Oh, go. Kana liver na liver. Pwede naman daw open balls. Kana.
Yelo.
Ayan na yan. Oy! Sorry. Oh, dito. Kanino.
Pilit ka ni yelo.